Alright, so I'm making this video to talk about what the importance of data really is. I'm sure a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that word getting through around a lot. If you pay attention to the news, you see a lot of the if you pay attention to the news, then you see a lot of big social media companies, a lot of app companies like Google, things like that, Facebook, Meta, having hearings and stuff in court about data. Now, first of all, let's break it down. What is data? The simplest way to understand it is information. Data is just a bunch of facts and statistics that's compiled together in order for you to make an analytical decision, to have reference points. It's information, right? So, what is the importance of data? Well, there's two sides of it for you to understand. The first way would be if you're a business owner, then you would understand why businesses want to have data or information about their consumers, the people that's buying whatever product or services they offer, right? Because the more information you have about the people that are buying the things or interested in the things that you have to offer, you are able to build a better understanding of things that you can offer, the way to offer it, where to offer it, things of that nature. It just helps you make better decisions as a business as far as how you can improve your products or improve the experience that people have with your products or your services, right? So in the consumer's case, your data is important because it helps businesses learn how to advertise to you. So if you're getting on Facebook and they're able to see what other apps you go to, what other websites you go to, what type of posts you engage with, what type of friends you have, what your friends engage with, and a long laundry list of things like that. If they can compile all of that information together, it helps them build a profile in order to advertise to you better. So they can put it in places like they know what YouTube videos you like to watch. So now they can start advertising to those specific niches of YouTube videos, right? Let's say you like to watch a lot of vlog videos on YouTube, but you also pay for Spotify. Okay, well, now anybody that gets those analytics and sells Spotify products, Spotify can now see, okay, so we should advertise on vlogs. So let's go look at all the different type of vlogs there are, and we can start putting our commercials on that. So in between those videos, you're starting to get people, oh, okay, they got music. Now why would they do that? Because it helps them find more consumers. The same thing works in reverse if you're a business owner. You need to know where your customers at, what they like, what they don't like, and things of that nature, right? It helps you make a more informed decision. It helps you advertise and market more efficiently. It just helps you have more information. It gives you more resources to make better decisions. That's like anything in life. The more information you have, the better informed decision you can make about things. So why is that important? Well, let's say you're a business owner and you're trying to figure out how to get in front of different home buyers if you sell houses, or let's say you do hair or you sell food, whatever it may be. You want to be able to see, okay, the people that I have dealt with up to now, or the people that I am looking to deal with, what do they do? Well, for one, the first thing you would do is look for the people that's looking for your specific product or service. And once you get from there, you can start niching down and becoming more specific, because it's like throwing a net in a super huge, let's say you got a stream and you're trying to catch fish, and you know fish come all through this stream. Well, the bigger the stream is, it's more space for you to have to cover. So if you're throwing a net into it, yes, you'll catch a lot of fish because it's a big stream and you're fishing in the stream. You're putting your net out there. Your net would be your advertising, your marketing, whatever funnel you're using to direct people to you specifically, right? Now, once you start narrowing that down, what you do is you decrease the amount of space that you have to cover to do the same thing. You can have the exact same size net, and if you can go from fishing in a 50-foot wide stream to a 2-foot wide stream, then what do? You're going to catch all the fish that come through there. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a bottleneck at a certain point, because there's gonna be so many fish coming through that once you catch them, once you throw your net in there, it won't even be any more fish that can come through until you get those out. All the other fish waiting for you to move these fish out the way that's held up in your net, right? So that's the importance of data. Data just helps you make a more informed decision. It helps you understand your consumer better. In business, from what I've researched and analyzed and a lot of the information I've received, is what they tell you to do almost first and foremost is know what you're going to sell and who you're going to sell it to, right? So you want to build a customer profile, a consumer profile. Some people call it an avatar. It's just a bunch of different statistics that your customer will fall into. So if you're selling clothes, well, are you selling men's clothes? Or are you selling women's clothes? Are you selling adult clothes, or are you selling kid clothes? Are you selling streetwear? Are you selling high fashion? Are you selling lounge? Are you selling activewear? That already begins the process of you being able to more specifically reach out to the people that you're looking to reach out to. If you just say you want to sell clothes, all right, awesome. Now, who do you advertise that to? If you advertise it to everybody, you do have a good chance of getting customers still, but you have to understand the amount of work that you're going to do. It's a lot harder to tell everybody about your stuff than it is to tell men specifically about your stuff, or women specifically about your stuff, or men that are active and need active wear, men that need compression shorts versus women that wear lingerie, versus men that wear business suits versus women that's wearing nightgowns. You see what I'm saying? Now that you have men or women, then you get to age range. Okay, am I dealing with 18 to 25? Am I dealing with 42 to 47? Am I dealing with 55 to 63? Now you get to see, okay, that's the age range. Why does this help? Because now you get to understand what these people are doing. What is this 63-year-old man that I'm advertising to doing with his life? Am I selling business shirts to people that age? Because at that time they're probably more into business, or am I looking to get the retired men that are golfing? Because I got this breathable fabric polo t-shirt that's perfect for when you go to the golf course. All right, well then you need to start advertising to that specific customer, and the more specific that you can get with that customer, the easier it is to find that person, the easier it is to identify that person, and the easier it is to speak to that specific person's wants, needs, desires, preferred lifestyle, preferred products and services that they want to receive. So beyond that, the time that we're in now, there's a new technology that's been introduced called blockchain. You'll start to hear a lot about Web3 and things of that nature. It's something that's becoming kind of trendy right now. But the reality is, trend or not, it's something that's here. It's here to stay, and it's the next iteration of how we are going to be using the internet. So let's take all these same reference points that I've made up to this point and put it in a position where you can actively keep track of everything that your customer is involved in, that they purchase, that they put on a wish list, that they're watching, that they're clicking on. But instead of someone else doing it, you can do it. What Web3 is allowing people to do is to take control of that information themselves and to do with it as they please. This is important because we're living in a time where realistically we got to understand that we're using a bunch of other people's platforms. So when you're on Facebook, you have to follow Facebook's guidelines. When you're on YouTube, you have to follow YouTube's guidelines. When you're on Instagram, you got to follow Instagram's guidelines, TikTok, all of these things. And what you realize is that's somebody else's entire infrastructure that they built. That's somebody else's dream that they brought into manifestation, that they brought to fruition, that they took from just a creative idea to a tangible thing to be used physically and digitally. Well, that person has their own likes and dislikes, and just like anybody else, we're all individuals. We agree with some things, we disagree with some things. There may be some things that you find suitable for your business that Facebook doesn't find suitable for their platform. So there's aspects of yourself or your products or your services that you're not able to present to people the way you would like to, because it's being used on a platform that is not your own. You're using somebody else's platform. It was just like being a speaker at an event. If that event tells you, hey, there's certain words we don't want you to say, certain phrases we don't want you to use, certain colors we don't want you to wear, certain actions and interactions we don't want you to have, some of those things may be things that you deem necessary for your business or for your message to come across the way you want it to. So at this point in life, realistically, these are things that you could have done on Web 2. And when I say Web 2, it's not that deep. Just think of it as the internet as we know it today, the apps we use today. Web 2 is what we use today. Web 1 would be considered, to make it simple, Web 1 was like the first iteration of the internet. It was when we first got on it and started understanding what we could do with it. So this would be things like people started making websites, okay? People making these websites. Now, there's not a lot of things that you can do to the website except maybe get on it, read what's going on, see what's going on, and that's it. Web 2 gave us the ability to start interacting with these things. It gave us more tools. It gave you the ability to post videos. It gave you the ability to post pictures, to share these videos and pictures and long and short form posts and written posts to a multitude of people, and it allowed us to be able to interact with them amongst each other. That's where you get things like YouTube, you get things like Facebook, you get things like Instagram, Vine, TikTok, Snapchat. Web 3 is basically the same thing, except now what it does is utilize the blockchain. Now, long story less long, blockchain is just a new form of technology where it allows information to not be altered. So the blockchain is what some people call a digital ledger. Now, if you understand what a ledger is, as far as business, it's just something that you use for accounting. A ledger is like your checkbook. You know what I'm saying? It's like what you use to keep track of transactions. The internet is a bunch of social transactions. Your transaction being your engagement, your comments, your likes, your shares, your follows. These are all transactions. Why? Because you're doing something and somebody's receiving something, and vice versa. Somebody's doing something and you're receiving something. Every time somebody views it, you're getting that. Every time somebody posts it, you're getting that. Every time somebody shares it, you receive something. Their audience, your audience. You get to swap out. It's a transaction. It's transactional. Life is transactional. It's give and take and give, right? And so the importance of these transactions being on the blockchain is the fact that it can't be altered, it can't be destroyed. So what it does is it creates a ledger on the internet, and by placing this ledger on the blockchain, by putting this information on the blockchain, what it does is it creates a specific hash, and we can just say a hash would be considered like a access code or a key name. or a name. That's the name of this transaction. So let's say if you have videos that you've posted on Facebook, posts you've made on Facebook, posts you've made on YouTube, posts you've made on Instagram, and these posts have been deemed violations of the guidelines that these platforms have provided as far as what they deem acceptable and unacceptable, right? Well, on the blockchain, because you can't alter the information or because you can't remove the information, once it's there forever. And it's going to be the exact same for everybody that checks it, because it has to have that specific hash, which is a access code, key name, however you want to internalize it to understand it. It has to be the exact same. And if any information is changed, what it does is it creates a whole new hash. That's a whole new transaction. It's a whole new access code, a whole new key name. So what that does is it lets people know, okay, this isn't the original thing. The original thing had hash Facebook posts. Okay, well, if you go to search up that Facebook post and you end up on Facebook post number 2, well, then you know, okay, this isn't the one that I'm looking for. So it holds true to the original information that was placed. It's not able to be changed. It's not able to be altered. Now, the benefit of this is, more specifically, is that you don't have to worry about things being lost. You don't have to worry about things being taken down. You don't have to worry about things being removed. And you don't have to worry about it being different from what it originally was. That's the main thing that the blockchain allows. Now, when it comes to you specifically and how you can utilize it as a business or a consumer, what that does at the same time is it allows you, it keeps a record of all these transactions. So with that record, it allows you to see, okay, the people that are a part of this hash or a part of this transaction were also part of that transaction. They were also part of that transaction. They were also part of this transaction. So it would be the same thing that happens on the apps we use today, Facebook, everything of that nature, YouTube, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's even just like now how iPhone allows you to choose whether or not you want an app to track. You can ask the app not to track, or you can allow it to. All that does is, for the advertisers, for these businesses, is it allows them to build a data profile of the things that you're involved in, the things that you're interested in. That's why when you give, a lot of times we talk about, oh, I was just talking about this, or oh, I was just looking this up, and now I'm being advertised for it on Facebook or YouTube, or even sometimes my TV, things of that nature. That's because you have an IP address. And that's important in and of itself, because what is an IP address? Well, first and foremost, IP is what? Your intellectual property. That's something that we're starting to learn a lot more about now. That IP address is just the specific address that your network connection has in order to connect to other places. Why? Because we need to know that it exists. So we have to know where on the internet you're existing to connect you to where you're going. So it's just like back in the old days where in order to make a phone call, you called the whatever the company, you know what I'm saying, the call center, and they pulled your phone line out of this line and connect it to this line. Why? Because this is where the information is coming from. This is where it wants to go. We can connect you with that. Okay, you need to talk to AT&T. We're going to pull you from whatever home base you're in, and we're going to plug you into AT&T stuff. So now you're talking to AT&T's people. Why? Because AT&T has an address just like you have an address. Vice versa, if AT&T want to talk to you, they're going to call the call center company. They're going to pull them out of AT&T and plug it into your home address. Now your phone rings. That's in essence what these businesses are doing now when they're tracking your stuff like that. So when we give them access to like our microphone, when you get on that app or when you have that app open, or if it's open in your background, it has the ability to access your microphone. Now, when does it do that? I don't know. That's probably has a lot to do with why that information is so readily available to the advertisers, because they're hearing possibly at all times, or unless you close the app, if it's running in the background, it's still running, so they're still having access to the microphone. They can still hear what's being said. Okay, they said Toshiba. All right, well, if you start getting Toshiba advertisement, why is that? Because Toshiba is now getting a profile of all the people on Facebook that are mentioning Toshiba, that are typing it in, that are liking posts that mention it, that are engaging with content creators or other people on the internet that have that in some of their content, right? So in essence, it's the same thing going on, except on Web3, what they're calling it is decentralized. And the reason it's decentralized is because now the information is being held on a specific platform. As of today, Facebook has all that information. Once you can get your Facebook analytics, but who's controlling those analytics? Facebook. Now, that's not to say they're doing anything egregious with it. That's not really the conversation that I'm having right now. What I'm saying is you only get as much as they give you. And for a lot of people, you have to reach a certain level, or you have to follow certain guidelines to be placed in these different algorithms, or to be placed in these different places where that information is being shared and is relevant to what you have going on. So with it being decentralized, what it means is everybody has access to it. Why? Because anybody that interacts with it can see who else has interacted with it. So when I get on a post from Country Wayne, I can see, oh, okay, you can see how many likes he got, you can see how many comments he got, you can see how many shares he got, you can see who did what like reaction to it, things of that nature. Now, to get deeper into that, what you would be able to do is, on a decentralized network, is you're able to see, okay, I can click on this person's profile, and instead of just seeing their regular Facebook profile, now I can see all the other things they've interacted with. Okay, I can see that, oh, this person also liked this person also liked that, this person also commented on this, they also commented on that, they shared this, they shared that, instead of only seeing the visible front-facing information that you get, which is very surface level. This has a lot to do with people in any industry. You need the information. So if you're a musician and you want to know, okay, what type of music do my listeners like? Well, if you go to Facebook and you're uploading your videos, you can't see what other songs this person has interacted with unless you go individually onto their page and you scroll through all their posts and you see, okay, they also shared this, they also shared that. But you can't necessarily see what they like. And realistically, if you could, would you want to have to go through and look at each individual person that liked your music? Let's say you got 500 likes. Do you want to have to click on that person's profile and then see what their name is and then go to the search bar and be like, oh, like post by Jerry Smith? No, you don't want to do that. That takes too long. You're going to have to do that with each person, and then you're not going to get all the information. It's not going to show you every post that they liked. It's not going to show you every post that they commented on, right? Well, with Web3 and the decentralization of it, there's two things that you benefit from. First and foremost, you benefit because it's basically like you having your own platform. And if you understand in the times we're in today, that's what you need, because you don't want to be at the mercy of somebody else's guidelines, somebody else's rules, somebody else's procedures. It's just like Netflix versus Tubi. What's the difference between Netflix and Tubi? There are certain guidelines that Netflix follows that maybe Tubi doesn't follow. There are certain channels that you have to go through to get your stuff on Netflix that you may not have to go through to get your stuff on Tubi. Now what happens is you start getting a lot of different levels of things going on, you know what I'm saying? The production may not be as good on Tubi because it has access to a much wider range of people, because they're not held to the same standard. You didn't have to bring it to Netflix and have us go through it, or you didn't have to get a budget, or things of that nature. You just had to have the file and upload the file. Have original music, you can upload the file. Things of that nature. I'm not even sure if you have to have original music on Tubi, things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know the rules because it's not something that I involve myself in, but I do understand the basic framework of it, which allows me to understand what's going on. So why are these people wanting to build their own platforms? Well, that's because now you get to funnel the people that are looking specifically for what you want to provide in the way that you want to provide it. Maybe you want to engage in some activities that are deemed unsuitable for Facebook, but it is a part of your brand, and it is something that people expect from you, and it is something that people understand they're going to get from you. Well, if you can't put that on any platform, how are you going to get it to anybody? You can't. Once you create your own platform, okay, hey, I'm going to give you a censored version on YouTube. I'll give you a censored version on Facebook. If you want the full version, come here. This is what people are doing with things like Patreon. People are doing that on OnlyFans. It's not all, explicit and lewd content on OnlyFans. Some of it is just behind the paywall. It's more exclusive. It's things that maybe I can't show there. Maybe I'm engaging in activities that are legal, but they're not deemed appropriate. Or it's not something that these social media outlets and platforms want to have high in the algorithm. So if you're smoking or if you're drinking, maybe that's not something that YouTube and Facebook really wants to promote. It doesn't mean that it's illegal. It just means we don't necessarily want to push that as the main thing here. Well, that affects your business because there may be people that want to see it, that because YouTube doesn't deem it acceptable, they don't get it put in front of them the same amount as other things get placed in front of them. It may not be as relevant to them. It's relatively relevant to them, but there may be things that you do that's more relevant. Well, once you have your own platform, guess what you can do? You can put whatever you want on there. It can get as egregious or as explicit or as transparent as you may want it to be. That's the benefit of having your own platform, period. You see what I'm saying? Like I was just having a conversation with my sister and we were talking about the Beyonce album. And I think she was telling me that Beyonce didn't even release maybe like her last album, or typically doesn't even release her albums on streaming platforms. And even deeper than that, once upon a time we had Tidal, that was Jay-Z's, which was his own platform. Hey, we want to control the amount of money we make from these streams. So we're going to make our own streaming app. And if you want to hear my music and all these other artists that agreed to only drop content on this app, you're going to have to come here to do it. We dictate how much of that percentage we get. We dictate how much of that pay we receive. We dictate the price of it. Well, that would be like the first iteration, the first step towards having your own platform, towards taking control of your data and your analytics. If you're really a fan and you pay for this product or service that I provide, then you'll come and get it here. And if you come and get it here, you're benefiting me more because now I receive more from it than if it was coming from somewhere else. And if I benefit more from it, you benefit more from it because it allows me to increase the quality and maybe even possibly the quantity of the thing that I'm giving you and that you're consuming. Now, what Web3 does and decentralized apps does, it allows them to have direct access to the people consuming it, and they get to see what these people like. If you're on my app and I know that you like, if you're on Tidal and I see, okay, this person that bought my album is Jay-Z, also bought the J. Cole album, also bought the Wale album, also bought the Sada Baby album, okay, I know they like these things. Well, that gives me the opportunity to say, maybe I could do a collaboration with one of these artists, and that will bring more people here from each of those artists, because now I know people that listen to J. Cole also listen to me. I know people that listen to Sada Baby also listen to me. I know people that listen to Wale also listen to me. So I have Wale fans, and Wale has some of my fans. We can do something together, and now some people that listen to Wale that don't listen to me or haven't had experiences or exposure to me, now we can collaborate on something. I am placed in front of his people, he gets placed in front of my people, and we both get to reach similar audiences that maybe we wouldn't have been able to reach because we didn't know we shared them, or we didn't know that our audiences had similar tastes in other things, or that they also liked what I like. If you're only going to Wale concerts, but once you hear Jay-Z's music, you're willing to go to Jay-Z's concerts, it would benefit Jay-Z to do something to put his music in front of Wale fans. Why? Because these fans that have only been going to his stuff will also come to my stuff. They just haven't been exposed to me. So how would I do that? I would have to find some kind of way to put myself in front of his audience instead of just having myself in front of my audience and hoping that the algorithm one day places me in front of those people. That's, in a nutshell, what these things allow you to do. In a sense, it gives you more analytics, it gives you more information, right? So I'm big on Web3. I'm really big on controlling your data and understanding your data and what it does for you, because it helps everyone make more informed decisions. I keep saying that because that's what it does. So the reason this is so big is because, like I say, it's decentralized. So it takes it from just being Facebook to, oh, now I can have that information myself. It comes through me. And not only does it come through me, it comes through everybody that comes to this place as well. We all have the same information. So a new upcoming artist can see, oh, these people like Wale and Jay-Z, maybe I can't do a collaboration with those people, but I can rap on their type of beats. Or I can use some of the subject matter that these people have. That allows me the opportunity to appeal to a crowd that I may have not known I could appeal to. So I say all that to say, for one, the importance of creating your own platform, building a community. We can still use these apps to build a community of people and then leverage that to funnel them into your specific platform. And even deeper than that, you know, if Web3 can be a little bit advanced, but realistically, you can still just funnel these people to your own app or your own website, which is separate from them, and it allows you the ability to express yourself more freely, more openly, more transparently. So, for one, if you have a business, you should definitely look into having your own app and look into having your own website. Why? Because you can leverage all these social media platforms that already exist and funnel them into your own specific platform, your own specific area, which allows you to market to the people that really want to invest or consume whatever product or services you have. There'll be a lot of people that see your posts on these social media platforms. You may get a lot of engagement, but a lot of these people may not necessarily be the consumer or the investor that you're looking for. So what this allows you to do is filter these people out. That's not a bad thing. You appreciate the engagement that you're getting. Okay, they liked it. Okay, they commented on it. That's boosting my engagement, which should, in all reality, increase my exposure into the algorithm, increase my visibility, because I'm showing these social media platforms that I have engaging content. Then beyond that, you can funnel those places from somewhere where maybe you're not able to give a full look into the products and services that you're offering into more beneficial places. All right. Now that you've had 500 people click on your profile and you have a website, maybe you only get 10% of that. Is actually people that want to be invested enough to actually see what you're offering on the website. Okay, well, that's 50 people. Well, from those 50 people that are now on your website, now they get a full list of your products, your services. They get a real glimpse into the things that you're offering. They're already interested because that's why they clicked on your profile from the social media platform, and then from your profile they clicked on the website that you're advertising on this place. Now from there, if they made it that far, that obviously means you have something that these people are interested in. So now that you have filtered through, realistically you didn't filter through it. They kind of filtered themselves, you know what I'm saying? So this is just like having an avatar. This is like speaking specifically to your consumer that you're looking for. You're looking for people that's going to spend money. You're not looking to just talk to people all day, because that's not making you any money if you're selling a business, if you're selling a product or a service with your business, which you have to be doing one or the other, sometimes both, whether that be digital or physical. You have to sell to make money. That's the point of the business, right? So once you filter from people that just want to look at it to people that want to actually consume it, now you have 50 people that you necessarily didn't have to do anything but post on platforms that are already created, and that gave you 50 people that you otherwise would have had to do who knows what to get. Maybe you wouldn't even been able to reach these people. Maybe you're getting people from, if you're in Texas, maybe you got somebody that's friends with somebody in Alabama. Maybe your family member shared your post and somebody from Alabama saw the post and clicked on it because it was something that spoke to a need or a desire that they have. And they went from the post to clicking on the website link, and now they're on your website. Well, guess what? How are you going to reach that person that was in Alabama? You're just going to have to be in Alabama. You're going to have to be in front of that person's face. Well, now you're in a position where you're leveraging somebody else's platform to boost your own. Now that you have these 50 people on your website, maybe only 10% of those people actually end up buying a product or a service. That's 5 people. Well, guess what? I'm sure any business appreciates any sale they get. So if you get 5 sales from that, that's 5 sales you wouldn't have been able to make because you were going to have to put yourself in front of them in a way that you physically were not able to do. So you take that and you recreate it. You continue to do the same thing, and it's just a rinse and repeat. That's a system. That's a money-making system. Now you can grow your reach because you're consistently getting engagement. If you consistently get 500 interactions and you consistently get 50 people, it could be the same people, it could be different people. It doesn't really matter. The point being, you're consistently funneling that 500 down to 5 sales, right? Well, now with the Web3, what you'll be able to do is, or realistically you can do a Web2. This is where you get people that subscribe to my email, or, you know what I'm saying, enter your email address, log in on this website. Why? Because now they can market directly to you. They can see, oh, you bought this before, well, maybe you like this. Oh, you listened to this before, maybe you'd like to listen to this. And it gives you more reach, and it gives you more leverage, and it gives you more control, and it gives you more of an ability to advertise more analytically to the correct people. It's just a more efficient way of doing things. That's it. So it's something to think about. It's something to look into. It's definitely something that I'm looking into. It's definitely something that I plan on getting more involved with, more in depth with, and utilizing myself. It only makes sense. It's there, like I say. It's just like, if you could have been the person that made one of these apps, wouldn't you have been done it? Why? Because you see the benefit of it. Well, you're in a position where you can utilize that app to funnel people to your app. You see what I'm saying? Now, if things are to start happening on these platforms, once you've amassed a following, you can start directing people there. Or even if you do something and you're removed from these platforms, if you have your own platform, you can still find ways to utilize other people that may utilize your own platform, your own app, your own website. You can have them funnel people to you. So it's just a thing where it benefits you and it benefits the consumer, because realistically we all have something that we can provide, some form of value that we can provide to other people, because there's value that we have to provide for ourselves. That's the way we survive. You have to do something in order to feed yourself, in order to clothe yourself, in order to take care of your bills and things of that nature. Well, whatever you've learned to do that is something that you can either provide the information on how to do it, or you can provide the thing that you do to other people that will benefit them and benefit you. And then we're all benefiting. We're providing value to ourselves and others. And it's just a constant cycle of rinse and repeat. You continue to do that. You continue to add value, continue to add value, continue to add value. That's being an asset, not a liability. Why not be an asset to yourself and the others and see where that can take you? It can only appreciate and value. You learn more things, you become more experienced at it, you become better at it, you improve the quality of the things that you're doing and being a part of. And that's, that's the goal. That's what I'm about. I'm sure that's what a lot of y'all are about, you know what I'm saying? So this is just me departing some of the information and some of the knowledge that I've received over the years, over the months, over the days, over the weeks, over the minutes, over the hours, over the seconds, that are allowing me to add value to myself, which if it brings value to me in my life, obviously it'll help somebody else bring value to theirs. And, at the end of the day, people are the money. People are the currency. That's what matters. The people are what matters. Without the people, we don't have the things we have today. Without people, we don't have the things we'll have in the future. So why not improve the quality of people, which improves the quality of the things that we receive from the people and the things we can give to the people. And that will only make it better for the generations coming after us, for our kids' kids, and all the kids and generations after that. Our communities, it only builds us up and makes us better. That's the goal, because obviously it's the logical thing to do, right? So, that sums up this video pretty much. Like I say, it's definitely something you should look into. It's definitely something I'm looking into. It's something that I'm going to be providing more information about as I receive more information. It's definitely something I'll be providing more utility for myself and for others. And so just stay on the lookout for that. If it helped, share it, let it be known, like it. Like I say, any engagement helps. It's all appreciated. Even just watching it helps if you don't do anything. Realistically, the message needs to be out there anyway. And, who am I to withhold that information? It doesn't help me any to hold it all in and not do anything with it. And to do something with it will be improving my life and improving the people around me life. The people that are around me life. Something like that. But yeah, like I say, just stay tuned. There's more stuff coming. I appreciate y'all if y'all made it this far in the video. It was long. It's a lot of information. There's still not all the information. So, there's going to be a point where I have to start figuring out different ways to get it to y'all, different ways to show y'all what I'm talking about and things of that nature. But it was just something that I really felt the need to go ahead and start getting the message out about. Something I'm really passionate about. It's something that really speaks to me personally. And for that reason, I made this video. So I hope you appreciate it as much as I appreciate putting it out there, as much as I appreciate you receiving it. I hope it can do something for you. If you got any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gatekeeper to this information. It's not my information to keep. It's information that I was blessed to receive from others. So I want to continue to be a blessing like I was blessed, and you know what I'm saying, pass that around and try to find different ways to utilize it. Maybe somebody has an idea that I didn't think of. Maybe somebody has a skill or ability that I don't have to utilize these things. And at this point, it's all community building. So what we looking to do, and you know, hopefully it gets done.